things got busy, and I'm back. So I hope everybody is doing well. Trying to get back into the swing of things here with this. So crossing fingers this goes well. I'm trying to get the right thing going here. I'm trying to stare and everything. Uh, well, 2002. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody in general is getting everything they need together for the new year, resolutions, goals, whatever you want to have. I have goals myself. This is one of them. Um, Besides the fact that I want to uh, get back into uh, working out a more health wise, live a healthier lifestyle. Um, I'm also concentrating on my new position. Uh, as anybody who's tuned into my Facebook group, I've recently, over the past year, have gotten promotion um, at the comic shop that I work for. First, it was I helped in cons and events for this past year, 2021. Now, I did a good job of that. I think I actually proved myself and did some things that impressed the boss. So they offered me a full time position, not just a part time position, which is great because I have now officially retired from working for the Brown Packaging Corporation that I'm not going to say the name because, I think you get the gist of when I say Brown. But it's what I was going to do. So this just makes the transition a little bit easier. I'll be making equivalent to what I was making there, just on a full time basis. So, yay. Sometimes I'll be working. I got transferred to a new store, so I will be working out of there. I'm happy with that. I'm thrilled actually. It's a passion. When a passion turns into a job that you really enjoy, doing things and getting things straightened out, you get to things turn out better. So I'm happy with that. Now I'm redoing this. This is another resolution, and I'm back into doing the streaming. Uh, Trying to get back into it. I know I started last year with Dustin as a guest, then he turned into a co-host, and we did it for a few weeks, and then he got busy with his work. We tried to stay in touch. It's been off and on. I think I keep missing him. He keeps missing me, and I, I'm not going to blame anything. Life takes you places, as obvious reasons. So, we both kind of bowed out. I mean, I think he's still part of the discussion page on Facebook. So I'm still going to post on that, but I can only broadcast from Facebook Live. They will not let me post the streaming, on Facebook anymore, which I think they say it's spam or some bull crap like that. I don't know. It sounds ridiculous. So until that becomes fixed, I'm stuck just downloading this directly to YouTube, and then I will let you guys know. Hey, it's on YouTube. Come check me out on YouTube. So I'm still going to do JC discussions of interest and hobbies. I still want to do that. I still want to discuss hobbies and interests of people, not just like in general what everybody knows, but I want to expand it. I want to do different things. I want to get different kinds of guests on. I'm changing the format up a little bit. I want guests to come on as one of their. We'll talk about I think this is where like the show is. We're going to talk about one of the interests, like maybe their job is part of their interest or what they do is part of their interest. And then the second part is like, well, what's your recreation interest? What is stuff that you're into? Like, one of their things. And then we'll talk about that for the rest of the show. I think that'll be a more interesting and a different format than I've heard on various podcasts and interviews and stuff like that, because I've heard different things from different people, different podcasts that I listen to. Um, Everybody's into one, like there's their one main hobby or interest, but then if they're anything like myself, I have several interests. I have several hobbies. They're, yes, I'm into, as you can see, comics and like music and all this, all sorts of stuff. It's like I can interact with my guests in so many different levels, and it's really what I'm looking forward to. If this becomes like some sort of like cool side thing, I'm cool with that. This is just kind of something I want to do for like a once every 2 weeks to once a month. I think is the best format because I don't know how busy I will be. Um, I just happen to be, because of this weather front coming through the U.S. I actually have a couple days like kind of off, so I'll be posting this and doing this today is my first episode. Um, for those who are tuning in through YouTube, my name is Justin. As JC. I'm not going to give out my last name because I think he could probably just either look me up or whatever. I'm not going to be one of those people who hides. I have no need to. I'm not that much of a famous person like that. Unless you're going to come and try to hunt me down or something, more power to you. I'm not inviting trouble, but I'm just saying I hope there's not that case. And as you can see, I'm into various things: comic books, sports, um, pro wrestling, D and D. For those who don't know what D&D is, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, I like movies. I like certain TV shows. I have so much. Like I said, there's so many different things I'm into. I'm a music enthusiast. It's just the thing here. I keep. There we go. Huh. I collect enamel pins, different ones that reflect my other hobbies. I like supporting local people. Like this hat is a local Pittsburgh. For those who don't know where I'm from the Pittsburgh area, Western Pennsylvania. Um, and I like to business. This is a local business that I found through a tattoo convention, actually, which was kind of interesting. But it was a vendor. They make hats and they make all sorts of cool things. I'd like to get them on as a guest, and I'll get into more detail on that type of deal. But yeah, I'm going to make this kind of a very community based. Um, Jack of all trades, master of none type deal. I'm not going to be like the most knowledgeable of knowledges of everything. I'm not that way. Maybe if I just concentrate on one hobby, yeah, but I have my hands in a lot of different pies. And, sometimes everything, especially as one gets older, it's harder to memorize everything and get into everything, especially when you reach a certain age range. I am a middle aged man, so if you guys can't tell, um, and that I've been doing a lot of these different hobbies for years. Others, not so much. But I've always had a little bit of. I was always a different person, different into different kinds of things. I liked athletics. I liked music, but I was also a big giant geek in high school. Uh, it wasn't always appreciated as it is currently. I make the joke that if I was high school into my 20s, I would probably have been the Mac and Daddy of geekdom. So I do apologize. That is a really bad joke, but you're going to hear a lot of those because I do really bad dry jokes. So if you can't handle that kind of humor, I do apologize. Um, but I feel like that kind of shows off my personality is I'm very easygoing. I'm very laid back. I try not to let things upset me and whatnot. But hey, but uh, the also the other reason why I'm also doing this first episode is to kind of reintroduce you some some of you guys. It's been a while. Some of you guys have never even met me. So let's get into like my main thing. Like I said, I work for a comic book store, so that means I am totally into. Hold on, I'm in water. I apologize. My throat got dry. I'm into comic books. It's been a more recent thing, honestly. It's probably because of the age. Marvel universe, DC universe, whatever you want to call it. Um, I don't pick and choose. I like all of them. I like independent stuff. It makes no difference. I'm a more character based, group based stuff I grew up with. A little bit of Batman, a little bit of X-Men. Definitely, if you can't tell, hardcore Wolverine and Hulk fan, as you can see right behind there. I've, I've always gravitated towards those two. I, I like a lot of different kinds of things like that. If you're going to go by DC side, I like a little bit of Batman. I'm a big fan of the Batman Beyond. I find Terry McGinnis a more fascinating character than Bruce Wayne, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I also like very odd characters in the DC universe. I'm a big fan of Doctor Fate. I'm a big fan of Etrigan the Demon. I follow a lot of Lucifer before the TV series. So, I'm also a big Sandman. That's what I kind of grew up with. I am a Crow fan. I love the Crow. That'll be a story for another time, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm into comics. I collect the books. I collect certain pop figures and action figures. I don't go overboard. I do have some statues and stuff, but nothing. I don't. I like I said, I put my fingers in a lot of different pies. So I definitely do more of the books. Um, I do, like I said, show off some of the stuff I do get. I'm a big fan of art. If I love the way an artist depicts characters, I absolutely will try to get at least a print of it, and I will, frame it and make it look really nice. And I'm a big fan of framing things, especially art, which I've kind of gotten in various trouble with my wife. I'm not allowed to buy a ton of art because we do not have enough room for all the art. So I do hold stuff back. I am probably what you call a more seasoned collector. I just don't buy as I see. I've gotten a little bit more a keen eye towards seeing something. Um, but I also realize too, comic books aren't as cheap as they used to be. Especially older books, um, not to mention, well, older books and more popular. If it's something that's popular, it's definitely insanely. The amount of money is insane. Um, I try to steer with that, but I also try to keep up with stuff that I currently read. I don't only go after older stuff. I do have a pull list. For those who don't know what a pull list is, it is a you go to your local comic book shop or online comic book shop, and a pull list is any book that is currently being publicized by Marvel, DC, Image, Boom Comics, Dark Horse, let's see, a couple other ones, IDW. Those are some of the bigger ones. Dynamite is also a really well-known comic company as well. Um, I currently, if I'm going to use a couple of examples of stuff that I currently have a pull list for, I follow Spawn, the ongoing original Spawn. I do have some of the more current stuff that he's put out recently, but I've followed Spawn since the inception. So, and when to show you my age, when Spawn was coming out, I was in junior high. I was seventh and eighth grade at that time. Excuse me. Throat gets dry when I talk a lot. But I, I have that. Currently, Hulk, current Hulk by Marvel. Also, current Thor by Marvel. Thor is not usually one of my favorites, but I'm fascinated where this story is going. I do appreciate Donny Cates as a writer. Done fantastic work so far. But yeah, just to give you a little bit of what I'm like, one of my main areas I'm into is comics. A contradicting sometimes interest is sports. I grew up as a sports fan. Not surprising, the Western Pennsylvania, I am a Pittsburgh fan. I enjoy the Pirates. I enjoy the Steelers, and I enjoy the Penguins. I don't follow the Pirates as much as usual because, unfortunately, the team hasn't done anything in years. It's very hard to follow a team that's constantly losing or is has baseball itself is kind of a dying sport. Um, I just don't think they're caught up with modern age, and uh, also the fact that games are so long as comparable to the other sports. So I still try to keep up. I still stay informed. Thank God for podcasts, right, guys? Um, and Steelers, obviously, wearing the jersey. Um, So, playoff time when this comes out, it's a wild card weekend. So, hopefully, by the time this gets put out and everything, shouldn't be too much of an issue. And maybe, hopefully, they continue on to the second round. Fingers crossed. I've over Penguins a little bit as well. Not as much as I used to. I think when I followed the Penguins hardcore, it was before the current iteration of Penguins. It was more back in the day when Mario Lemieux was a key player and not just the owner of the Penguins. It shows you the age that I'm at. But it's cool that I'm still keeping up with sports. I guess if I'm going to go sports, it's I did do high school sports as well. I never got anything into college, of course, but you know, it's one of those things. I'm passionate about it. I stay informed. Podcasts keep me informed. I don't go over the top. I do collect jerseys. I have a ton of Steeler jerseys. I have a couple of Pirate jerseys. Granted, I think the Pirate jerseys are just plain Pirate jerseys. There's no names on it because anytime the Pirates get a decent player, they never keep them for very long. So it's very hard to get a jersey of your favorite player. Um, and Penguin, I only have the one jersey, and it's my original Lemieux jersey, uh, way back in the '90s. There, when they were winning Stanley Cups in the early '90s. So that was it's still there, it's still together, and you know. Um, but yeah, it's those are a couple of things that I'm into. Um, just to give you the guys the general example of like what I would like to discuss. Um, I think also I'm going to try to make the timeline for the streams and everything anywhere between 30 to 35 minutes. I think that's a good way to go. I don't know if I'm going to take that long to do my very first episode, but I feel like that's a good point of when I get a guest on and we discuss and get the general gist of what everybody's up to, current, past, the whole 9 yards. We'll get into a little bit of everything, hopefully. I am doing research and trying to get into contact with people that I think would be interesting guests. No, I'm not going to get anybody super famous or anything, but if I could get a couple of influencers or people that are active on the internet, I think I'd be thrilled to do that. I think it would be a great way to kind of burst open and get this kind of the stream going as a positive in a community, which already has there's a good bit of positivity out in various interests and hobbies as far as community base goes. But yeah, there's always room for more. I think hopefully what I bring to the table is a more person to person type deal of, hey, here's this person you see on the internet, and you think he or she or they are out of reach, but in reality they are just as human and bleed the same way you do. Um, they're just doing things at a different pace than you would as you start out. We all start out somewhere. We all started out at age 18, 20, 30, 40. I streamed before back when Twitch was on Twitch, but when it was just for gaming. I think my Facebook gives me notifications. Hey, this time, like 10 years, 7 or 8 years ago, you posted this about Twitch on Facebook. So streaming like this isn't new to me, but I haven't done it consistent enough that I am an expert or anything. But uh, I'm also hopefully this opens up and you guys will be positive and welcoming and in general, you know, be like, hey, I'm into this and I like the way your show's format. The better positivity, the better it is. It'll motivate me more to do this every 2 weeks or once a month. I haven't decided yet. I think once a month for now, and maybe if we start getting more guests on a regular every 2 weeks, it would probably be a more realistic end here. I'm not going to do a daily show. I'm not going to do a weekly show. I've tried to. I can do that on Facebook Live. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, you're more than welcome. JC Discussion of Interest in Hobbies is a Facebook group as well. You're more than welcome to find me there. I am also on Twitter. My handle is at Doc Oz. So find me there. The reason I go by that is my gamer tag when I gamed on a consistent basis. That'll be a discussion probably for another time. You can also find me on Instagram too. Just look me up, guys. I'm out there. I try to post at least a little bit of something during the week. I don't do daily stuff. I don't have enough time. I have a life. I have a wife. I have stuff to take care of that needs taken care of. Like I said, this is going to be a more recreational thing for me, so I will not be a consistent, you know, online influencer unless you guys will it to be. I'm not going to have that high of a hope. My goal is just to do this, and if there are a handful of people who appreciate this, I'm down for that. And I hope this went well. I hope you guys out there take it as is. Uh, Please share, thumbs up, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Please do that. I'm cool with that. Yeah, but you guys, I will see you next time. I will send out notifications when I'm going to do the next show. Uh, but if you subscribe and stuff, I'll pop up. So I will see you guys later. You guys have a good one, a good weekend, a good week. Uh, Keep on doing your interests. Keep on doing your hobbies. Do do you. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. You guys have a good